Okay, so we should be live.
We are on the internet.
We should be. Oh,
yes,
oh, I think it's going. Hi, internet.
Why is it so sad?
So, welcome to our very exciting new venture. I'm calling it Dragon Age Remnants, which is an excellent title that will make sense as the story progresses. So we're going to start this out just by, I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves and let us know who we as players are. And then we will sort of go into detail about who the characters are and the world state, because if you know anything about Dragon Age at all, it's got a lot of different choices that can drastically change where everything is at and how things are going for Thetis. So I'm going to go over what my world state is, which is based off my fanfiction universe. So a lot of it, there's some things that are, canon compliant, and some things that I've done myself. So we'll kind of go over what some of those things are. But first we'll start with introduction. So I'm Zom. I'll be the GM or DM, whichever acronym you prefer. I think the book calls it GM for Dragon Age, but it's all the same thing. I will be telling the story. My Twitter handle should be in the little corner of the screen, so you can find me at Zombolouge pretty much everywhere, on all the places of the internet. And so yeah, Celeste, why don't we go ahead and start with you? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure, I'm Celeste. I'm your representation for Australia. So yeah, my Twitter is there as well, but I don't really use it much. You're much more likely to find me on Tumblr at Celeste-Draws. And yeah, I'll be one of the players. I'll be Aria.
Okay, and Liz, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Hi, I'm Liz Horan. You can find me at Liz Horn, Horun, on Twitter, because it's my name. Nobody has it but me. And I've never played any of the Dragon Age games, so this is going to be a first for me. And I'm playing a human circle mage named Regina, or Reggie, if you want to go nickname. Yeah.
Okay, and then Alex?
Hi, I'm Alex. I have been playing Dragon Age for a lot longer than I'd care to admit. I have racked up thousands of hours on Inquisition alone. It was pretty sad. So I'm super excited to play this. My Twitter handle is at MangoLexi, and I think it's on the screen. So it's pretty cut and dry. I'm not on there very often, so I guess I will start checking it since we're going to be on the stream. I will do that. And do you want me to introduce my character?
Not yet. Yeah, you can go ahead and save that. So, okay, so hi. Awesome. So that's us. And now I'm going to go ahead and kick things off with sort of explaining the world state, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty about each character that you guys have made. We're not going to really do any gameplay for this session. It's mostly just introduction. I wanted to make sure I had all the tech stuff in order before we delved into storylines. So this will just be getting to know the characters and the world state, since it's a bit of a information dump. So let's start with the things to know about my version of Thetis. Warden Melody Cousland was the one who stopped the Blight and became Queen of Ferelden. Oh, and I should probably mention this breakdown. I'm going to break it down in information that the layperson in Thetis would know. So this is stuff that you would know from rumors or just general information. I'm not going to break down every single thing that happens in the inner circles of these events, because that's way too much information, and it would take 8 hours just to get through it all. If you're interested about the nitty-gritty details, you're welcome to go check out my fan fiction on Archive of Our Own. It's the What Is It With Red-Headed Rogues Anyways series. So that's where all the details are. It's not 100% written out yet, but some of the stories are finished. But anyways, so this is going to be the breakdown for the layperson, the information that you would know as, random Thetis citizen. So, so Warden Melody Cousland stopped the Blight and became the Queen of Ferelden. Lily Hawk became the champion of Kirkwall after stopping Meredith from killing the mages, and then fled the scene with the fugitive Anders. Autumn Trevelyan's name became known all across Thedas after she led the Inquisition to victory over the Magister Corypheus. The Inquisition was lauded as an organization of justice, and many backed them, even when they fell into a scuffle that turned into a war with the Wardens. Not much is known about the cause of the altercation, but it was rumored that Lily and Anders' affiliation with the organization sparked it. What you would know is that it led to a confrontation that resulted in the destruction of Weishaupt, which was the big Warden headquarters. And the Warden Order became decimated to the point that they were placed under full control of the Inquisition. This remained the case until it was abruptly disbanded after a summit that was held in the Orlesian city of Halam Sharal, which led to a lot of strange political tensions. No one knows exactly why Autumn caved to the naysayers at the summit and decided to disband the Inquisition, but it came as a surprise to everybody when she did. With the Inquisition no more, the Templars that were kind of controlled by them, the remaining factions that were not corrupted by Corypheus, and the Wardens that were controlled by them now kind of only exist as nothing more than fringe fractions that are just in shambles. There's very few organizations left in the land that are capable of holding orders, so it's sort of like removing the Inquisition kind of left this strange power vacuum, and nobody quite knows what to do. No one knows what became of the Inquisitor or her advisors, though rumors sometimes surface of their number appearing in various places across Thedas. No one can really confirm it. A lot of people just think it's lies and hearsay. Let's see. Other points of note would be that Melody actually disappeared for many years before appearing sort of at random when the Inquisition went to its scuffle with the Wardens, and she actually appeared on the Inquisition's side. She has since retaken her throne, and while rumors abound, there is no evidence of her or her husband succumbing to the calling, as one would kind of expect of a warden of her age. The situation in Ferelden remains tense, however, as they have still not produced an heir to the throne. Okay. So, does anybody have any specific questions about the world state?
Who's divine?
Liliana.
Okay. So they know where Liliana is, but we don't know where anybody else is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know where Liliana is. Everybody else is kind of like, they sort of disappeared after the Inquisition disbanded, so.
Okay, was Liliana like, because I can't remember, was she like happy and nice, or was she like super cute?
She's benevolent. Okay. She's disbanded the circles and allowed which ones that are remaining, they're sort of, they serve as colleges now. You can go if you want, if you're a mage, but you don't have to. There's basically not enough left of the Templars to really function as any part of the Chantry. There's a few here and there that sort of serve her, but it's like a handful at best.
So there's really no, like, any kind of military structure for the Chantry then?
Correct.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not a great place for the Chantry to be at right now.
How's Liliana doing?
Good.
Like, is she liked by people?
Yeah, for the most part. I think the Inquisition did a lot to build goodwill. There are, of course, factions that don't approve of what she's doing, but for the most part, they've been kept quiet.
Okay.
Her right hand has done, her right and left hands have done a lot to sort of keep the peace because they're a bit foreboding.
And who are they?
They are actually the characters from the book Asunder. Oh crap, what were their names? I'm like, I should have brought that up. Because yeah, you would know who they are just based on
like general knowledge.
Yeah, general knowledge. Let me just pull up their names real quick. Reese is her left hand, and
Evangeline?
And Evangeline is her right hand, yes.
Okay.
And how does the general populace feel about the whole Wardens versus Inquisition thing?
For the most part, they sided with the Inquisition. The Wardens didn't have a lot of goodwill after they had been sort of associated with Corypheus and his uprising. So the Wardens and Templars weren't in great favor at that point. They definitely saw Autumn as being, the savior that, saved them all from ruin.
What's the public opinion about mages?
It's still shaky. It's better than it was. Liliana has done a lot of campaigning to sort of help with that. And have people, push equality and things like that. There's areas where they're still not as welcome. I think Orlais is one of the more resistant regions. Surprise. But for the most part, it's getting better. Yeah, because and things are starting to tip in favor of equality for like elves and dwarves as well, because Liliana has opened up the chantry so that any race can serve. It's no longer humans only anymore.
Even the Qunari?
Yeah, she's not excluding anybody.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any that have joined yet, but any other specific questions?
I'm good.
Not, yeah.
Did any of that make sense to you, Liz?
Sure.
She's like, we'll go with yes. Okay, so then let's go ahead and start introducing the characters and start getting down to how they met and where they would be in sort of this chaos across Thedas. I don't think Thedas is ever not in chaos. The poor world is just not a great place to be. So Celeste, why don't we start with Aria and give us the rundown?
Yeah, okay, so I'll be playing Aria Decius. She's a human mage from Tevinter. Is it pronounced Leitan? Is that the cast that's,
Leitan, yeah.
Somewhat dreams? Leitan, yeah. So yeah, she's Leitan, has been for a few generations, and that's important to her without her knowing why it's important to her, just kind of that ingrained Tevinter bloodline nonsense.
And why don't you go ahead and break down what the Leitan is, just so Liz and all the viewers that aren't familiar with Dragon Age can sort of keep up.
So yeah, as Zom was saying earlier, in Dragon Age, mages are kind of oppressed and treated badly everywhere except for in Tevinter. Although Tevinter's not great because they still do like slavery and stuff, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, so Tevinter's got this very kind of separated caste system where if you're not a mage, you're basically trash, you're a public servant at best. And then if you are a mage, but kind of a newer mage, your bloodlines don't go all the way back to, like ancient times, then you're Leitan. You or your parents were born to non-mages, and you've gained a little bit of social power, and you're kind of the middle class.
It's sort of like new money versus old money.
Yeah. And then you've got the Altus, who are like, descended from the so-called dreamers, and they're much more powerful in general, I think. And they've got a lot of social power, the nobles of sorts.
Okay. And so, let's go ahead and, did you mention what Aria looks like? Did you want to sort of go over?
That'll be next week.
Haven't figured that out yet.
The art this week.
I'm not good at describing things, but I can draw it just fine.
So what do you imagine that Aria was doing before she met anybody in this party?
Right, so Aria would have just, completed her harrowing. She would have just gotten out of the cycle, and she just wants to learn a whole lot. She wants to research things, and she's kind of, exhausted the Circle's library and is looking for more things to learn, but she hasn't settled on a field yet. She's kind of looking to find that, inspiration, that passion. So she's left her area, that part of the world that she knows, and is going out looking for something new.
Okay. Okay, well, let's go ahead and introduce Regina to everybody. So, Liz, if you want to give a rundown of Regina.
So, like I said before, she's a human circle mage, and she's very plain looking, like brown hair, brown eyes, just a big, just she's not really all that great.
I think she's great.
Well, what I came up for was that her parents weren't anything special. She was just your regular average kid, and then some guy showed up one day and it's like, hey, you do magic. You got to go to magic school. And she's like, why? It's like, cuz. And then she gets dragged off to magic school. She didn't really want to be there, so she didn't really learn, like, good magic things. She just kind of picked whatever classes that would get her out fastest.
Yeah.
And then... and now she's just been kind of bumming around, just, like, looking for something to do.
Yeah. So I imagine if we put that in sort of Theda's terms, it would be like she was trying to earn her way to get, like, outside privileges to leave the circle and whatnot. Because Ferelden definitely had some of the better circles in the area, so you probably would have been more likely to be allowed to leave, because normally mages weren't. Unless they got, like, special, like, licenses to, or whatever. It's not really clear how that works, but sometimes they could leave.
Special dispensation, or some of the circles just let you go.
But I
imagine Dragon Age making sense.
But I imagine, like, when they kind of fell apart and disbanded in the middle of the wars, like, it was good news for Regina then, or Reggie, because she's like, alright, peace, mofos, I'm out.
Yeah, basically.
What did she do after that? Do you have any sort of... Did she just travel, or...
I think travel. Like,
Did she have any aspirations?
I don't think she really had enough time to gather aspirations before joining the circle. And then she's just like...
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what to do with this. But she does like learning languages, so she'll just try to travel as much as she can and pick up what she can. And just hang out.
All right.
The wind's her guide.
Like her age.
I made her about 30, but it's kind of hard to tell back in the day.
Okay. Alhana.
Alhana. Hi, I'm Alhana. I'm not going to talk like that.
You're only a Valley Girl, Qunari.
Yeah, guys, right? This is Valley Girl Qunari.
That's kind of amazing, though.
Like, oh my god, guys, aren't you so excited that we are going to get this started? And, like, we're going to go out and do adventures together? Like, yay!
Picturing the horns with that is just...
myself.
That's kind of incredible.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna do it like that. I'm a big cheerleader. My name is Alhana, but everybody calls me Al. I'm a Qunari. I'm like 6'11", and I weigh about 280 pounds. I'm like super stacked because I'm a warrior and I like swing swords around a lot. I'm from Ravane. I'm a part of a merchant family of Tal Vashoth, though I don't really consider myself Tal Vashoth because I'm like 3 generations removed from the Qun. So, yeah, my parents are merchants, and they taught me how to fight, and so like I do a lot of like guarding our caravans, and I'm kind of out and about. And, like, I did a little bit of stuff, like, sending stuff to the Inquisition with our family, but, like, it was insane down there. Anyways, try to stay away from that as much as possible. But, my parents are, like, kind of tired of having this 31-year-old just sort of looking around and doing nothing. So they were like, hey, you need a life. Go find one. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Not at all like a plan, but there it is.
You discover something new every time you do tabletop games.
Like, yeah, I'm like really strong and I'm like really nice. She's
like Valley Girl Evelyn.
I like light lavender color, and I have I'll put my horns. Well, there will be art of how my horns look, but they're really cool because they're all inlaid with like storm heart, so they're like kind of greeny purple, and they got like really fun designs. I love them. And then I have a lot of really dark hair. Oh, you bet, bitch! I glitter.
This is my favorite Dragon Age character ever. I'm only writing fan fiction about her.
Long, like white hair, and it's just beautiful all the time, and I love it. I'm so proud of it. It's just like it's so soft, and I can do anything with it, and it's like everyone wants my hair. But yeah, so that's Alhana,
Okay.
and you can call me Al.
Okay, that's fantastic. So, I mean, that's sort of our origins. So, you guys are all traveling for various different reasons. So, how do you guys imagine that you met up?
Well, where are we?
Well, you're gonna start out at a town called Hasmal, which is at the very edge of the Free Marches. So, it's right there on the border between like Free Marches and Tevinter, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, yep, there it is. I have my map over here.
It's handy.
I'm such a nerd.
That's a good idea. Let me just Google that.
Came with my book. Right. So like, what's around in Hasmal? Like, what's the deal?
It's a smallish town. I'm not going to give you full details on the town. But it's fairly small. I think.
Is there like a bar?
Yes.
Surely we'll be starting in a tavern.
Imagine that. We'll get to that later, but just know that you guys would have been near the edges of the Free Marches, and you could have traveled from like down from Tevinter or over from. Shit, I should probably open my map.
Okay, I took a ship from Ravane because, like, who wants to walk through Antiva? That's like a bad plan. I took a ship and it dropped me off in like, I don't know, like Kirkwall. Ooh, bummer. And then I had to go to Hasmal. That's how I got there.
Yeah, I think Arya's probably just left Tevinter, and is maybe studying the local flora, looking at all the plants and stuff that grow in the Free Marches.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, has just wound up there by, oh, here's some stuff to look at and research.
Okay. So sorry. Oh my god. Function normally.
So I'm like a big purple Qunari standing on the border to Tevinter, looking around like, hey guys.
Wrong.
And I've got like my dual swords on my back.
A recipe for disaster.
Where did you said you were heading down from Tevinter, so if you took a boat from Havane, you would have sort of approached from the other end of the Free Marches, because Hasmal is sort of like right in between Tevinter and Navarra and the Free Marches.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would have come down through like the Amaranthian Ocean and into the Waking Sea, where I would have docked in Kirkwall,
mm-hmm.
and then wandered on my way.
Okay.
I'm just wandering, looking for stuff to do. I haven't found anything yet.
So you guys might not have necessarily met up until the actual town of Hasmal. Your paths might not have crossed before then.
Oh, that's what I thought we were doing. Was we were supposed to meet in Hasmal.
Well, I was hoping that you guys would sort of know each other before you reached the town.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I did go through Antiva.
Okay.
I don't know, man. How do we meet each other?
Well, okay, with Arya having just left Tevinter and trying to learn new things, like seeing Qunari is probably something that's just going to be like, oh, look, a new worldview that I can learn from that is like polar opposite to what I've been raised with. And also, oh shit, a cool person with weapons who can protect me while we walk around.
I mean,
here.
if you guys want, it could very much be that she met up with you in Ravane before you left to go to the Free Marches. Like she.
That sounds great. I am like you guys' bodyguard. Take care of my little mage friends, and it's so much fun.
That sounds good to me.
They make my swords do fire.
So, with that being said, like Reggie would have started out in Ferelden originally, but you would have had plenty of time to sort of wander around the map. So, the most likely point for you to kind of run into them would be on their way towards Hasmal through the Free Marches. So, because the Free Marches is sort of like the less dirty England. I described Ferelden as dirty England for her earlier, and then like Free Marches is sort of like less. I think it's supposed to represent America because they're just supposed to be a bunch of like free.
Like a melting pot.
Yeah.
And nobody really understands
They're
it.
just like really attached to being free and no sort of what.
I thought the dwarves were America.
No, the dwarves are just I don't know.
They've got the accent. Sorry, just to see you.
I don't know that they were ever supposed to be assigned to a country. They're just sort of dwarves, fantasy dwarves.
Dwarves.
So I would definitely say that it's most likely that you met up somewhere in the Free Marches.
Okay. Well, if you're taking a boat, I could have been on the boat, and then like cruises are cool.
Because their boat would have come in from the opposite direction unless they went all the way down across the Waking Sea. Because Ravane is like
sightseeing. We can start in Ferelden. That's fine.
Okay, so you guys want to go down to Ferelden and pick her up along the way, and then you're sort of making this like route through the world, just sort of exploring everything.
History of Ferelden, and like we can totally like see where the blight happened, and maybe like do some sketches, and like then we'll have memories, and it's the best.
That seems perfect. I've just put a map in chat if you want to look at that.
That is a good idea. I think for the next stream I'll probably have Celeste put a map somewhere roundabouts on the overlays so that we can sort of reference that to everybody watching. But yeah, so that makes sense. So I'm gonna say you guys, rendezvoused through Ferelden, and you're just sort of traveling around, seeing the world. That's a good sort of goal to have. You're all sort of curious and seeking adventures, which is great for starting out a role-playing quest,
We're those kids who like go backpacking in Europe after college.
Yes. So true.
Aria has just graduated. She's
Except two of you are like in their 30s. So.
And Max is like pretty much just been like kicked out for being kind of a bum.
Did you decide, is your character Alex Snapple, what's her name? Alhana? What age is she?
She's 30.
30, yeah, okay, so two of you are 30, and then you've got the little, like, 19-year-old.
It's just fine.
So we've got...
It's gonna be so much fun.
We've got Valley Girl, but I'm kind of... And I imagine that, Reggie is sort of, like, a little quieter and more soft-spoken. Would you say that's accurate, Liz?
Yeah, that would probably be accurate.
Yeah. She seems like, it feels like you're going for something a little more bookish.
Maybe not bookish, but she definitely likes to listen more
Okay.
when he talks, because, I don't know, she just doesn't have time to talk very much all the time.
True. And then, is Arya, like, really bubbly and outgoing?
Yeah, I think so, and I think, she's, like, kind of bookish, but in a hands-on way, like, plant going to be safe to eat. I should just try it anyway, and then I'll know. Oh, I should study this dragon? Okay, well, instead of looking at it from afar, I'm going to run on in and try and pat it. That kind of just...
Good.
Very hands-on learner.
So she's very reckless. I see, yeah. Curiosity.
A little impulsive.
Very much curiosity killed the cat kind of scenario.
Yes, very, very much.
Okay. I like that. That'll be a fun dynamic. Let me see. Does anybody have anything else that they want to share about their characters' backstories or anything?
I would say that yes, I may be a valley girl on the outside, but that I'm not stupid. People like to think that a lot because of the way that I talk and come off, but I am not at all stupid.
Okay.
I know what I'm about.
Yeah, I don't have much to share. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Well, this went a lot faster than I anticipated. Trying to think if there's anything else we want to go over before rushing to start the campaign.
Is there anything we need to cover gameplay mechanics-wise?
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that because I don't know how much you guys have absorbed from the rule book yet or not. I don't think there's anything.
I don't know.
There's nothing in particular that's special. None of you guys picked a warden start, and none of you tried to do Templar, right? Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's something that I could potentially become at some point. But
Yeah, it's just if you pick those, there's quest lines that we have to do that involve. Like, if you want to be a warden, you have to like go do the joining, and it could kill you. Yeah.
That was my first plan.
There's actually a chance to die in the joining, and then I'd make you make a backup character.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, we could technically start the campaign now if you guys wanted to, if you felt at all ready for that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's, get a feel for our characters at least a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, something easy.
Yeah, because it mostly, it starts fairly simple. I don't know that we'll get to the any kind of combat scenarios or anything yet. But
okay, awesome.
I guess we can certainly get rolling on the story and give that a try. So if you guys are ready.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. We've got about an hour and a half before I would want to cut off the stream and call it a night. So we'll just kind of get rolling with it. And so let me begin by setting the scene. You are an important piece in a symphony that has been assembled for ages, though you don't yet know it. A song that has been sung since the dawn of time, its notes subtle and mysterious, unheard by most even as they dance to the tune. Lately, though, the song has different singers. Others have heard the melody and are adding new parts. You are the chords to one of these parts, and this is where you enter the stage. It begins with barely a whisper. Nothing more than a cricket's chirp as you shuffle towards a tavern caked in mud and fatigue. Half the tales that are worth telling begin in taverns, and it is here that we start ours. So, you find yourselves in the small border town of Hazmal, at the very edge of the Free Marches. For some of you, this is familiar territory. You may have been here a time or two in your travels. For others, you are a long way from home. Together, you have traveled this way looking for work, seeking to fill your pockets so that you can survive in your own way for just a little longer and keep up your traveling ways. You've arrived at the dusty tavern near the center of town. The building is old and reeks of the stale dregs from the nearby river. It's built out of wood of indeterminate quality as time has warped and cracked each board. There's moss in some places, mold in others, and the whole of the structure looks like it's been losing the battle with gravity for some time. You enter through doors that creak as they swing open, and inside you see a small room lit by dim, greasy lamps. Smoke fills the air and stings your eyes, but the promise of something to eat and drink is too enticing to pass up. So you survey the area for a place to rest your feet. There's one table open at the back of the bar, and so you guys all head in that direction.
Are we inside or outside of the town?
You guys you've headed inside, so you're heading towards the table.
Oh my gosh, ladies, I am exhausted and I'm so hungry and I'm muddy. I've got mud on my horns. Let's go sit.
It'll wash off.
I know, but yuck. Ew.
Your horns are pretty high up. How did you get mud on them?
That's a really good question, and it's kind of embarrassing to answer. I sort of ran into a tree.
How did I miss this?
Well, I mean, you and Reggie were talking, and it's always embarrassing when you run into a tree, so it wasn't like, guys, I ran into a tree. So, yeah, but that's why there's mud on my horns, and I don't like it. It's yucky.
You know what, that's fair enough.
Okay, well, let's get something to drink. I could totally go for a beer.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys all sit at the table, and you sort of motion to the bartender for a drink, and just sort of this gruff, surly dude that just sort of looks at you and rolls his eyes and then starts prepping your order, so it's not...
Oh, that surly dude! You don't need to hate us! We're gonna sit your best table all day!
He's absolutely not paying attention to you.
I tried. He's probably going to charge us more for the drinks now. Sorry.
It was worth a shot.
So as you guys sort of get settled in, you are interrupted. Your conversation sort of gets pulled to a halt as a man wearing thick velvet robes with a hood kept close to his face that hides most of his features sort of walks up to your table. He moves with a quiet grace towards you guys. His footsteps are sort of passing over the floor without any sound at all. It's like he's as quiet as a shadow. And as he draws near, you see the lights of the lamp sort of dancing in the deep set eyes that are sort of, buried inside the sides of this cloak, and he cracks a smile across his narrow face. He says, "Excuse me, pardon the interruption. I couldn't help but notice what a fine group of mercenaries you were. I was wondering if you might be available for hire. I have an offer I don't think you will want to refuse."
What if we're not mercenaries?
Are we like, hey, one second, can we have just a team meeting real quick before we answer your question? Because I'm we need to chat. Just hold on a second. And I talk to these guys at the side and what do you
Team
want?
huddle.
Yes, exactly. Team huddle. What do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
Are we mercenaries?
No.
I think we are.
That.
Want to be mercenaries?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of running low on money.
I mean, I'm broke. I'm so broke. I have nothing.
Oh, I guess. Sounds like I have money either.
You could just, his eye is twitching with irritation, and so you guys are just, whisper talking in front of him, and he's just, you can tell he just wants to tell you off. Just...
Okay, so I'm getting... Are we interested? Are we down to, make some gold? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I need money to live, to buy food.
Broke. Okay. Yeah, dude, we're mercenaries. What do you need?
So, I happen to know of an artifact located in a certain location north. And I am part of an organization that would be interested in collecting such an artifact. And we're in need of a group that would be willing to go and retrieve it for us.
I have to ask, just 'cause, what is this artifact exactly?
Well, it would be hard to define for a layperson, but it's very old in nature and of a very, very interest to our organization. But I don't know that it would be very interesting to mercenaries such as yourselves.
And what's your organization called?
Well, we're just a group of archaeologists.
Is there a version of an insight check I can do?
Right, yeah, I want to roll an insight check. What is that?
Yeah, let me see, what do I want you guys to roll for that? God, I don't remember what D&D or what Dragon Age stats are anymore. I'm like, sounds great, do a perception check. That's not what it's called in this game.
Yeah, there's perception.
That's right, there is. Where are the abilities? I wasn't necessarily prepared to start. Bear with me here while I just look it up. Okay.
I'm standing around looking for owls.
I'm gonna say this would be a communication check. Because you're using your social skills to try and see what's up with this guy, so...
Okay.
So we roll a d6 and add our modifier?
So you roll 3 d6, so roll all 3,
Okay.
and then,
Okay.
at least that's how I've always done it. So yeah, you can all make this check.
I rolled a 12.
I got a 15.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, I got a 17. I can't do maths.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say with a 12 and 17, you guys definitely notice he's not really telling the whole story. And his use of the term archaeologist is applied pretty loosely. You kind of get the sense that that is a pretty generous description of what he is.
So, like, not to sound, like, really terrible or, like, question your motives or anything, but I feel like that we're gonna need a little more information if we're gonna tackle this thing. Because, like, the world is a mess, and I'm not trying to, like, make it messier.
So he gives you this smile that's just, like, rickety and stiff and just, like, not at all comforting or welcoming or friendly in the least. And he says, the information is that you would not understand. If you want the job, I will give each of you 200 gold upon completion. Are you interested or not?
Is there a deposit?
Hang on just a second. We need to talk again. And we huddle.
200 is a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot of money, but these guys are like, this guy is like super shady. Like,
Yeah, he's really shady.
Yeah.
Like, remember, like, artifacts are like magical a lot, and I mean, bad things, right?
Yeah, definitely really bad
Yeah.
things.
So, do we want to go after this? I mean, you guys have mages, so you might be able to, like, deal with it.
Yeah, you know what? What if we go after it and then we, rather than, and here I lower my voice, but I'm not going to actually do that in case that makes me in order. But what if we find it and then we see if we can work out what it is and stop what may be the wrong people from getting their hands on it?
Ooh, I like it.
That sounds like a good plan.
Says, you know,
Do that.
We're in.
I can...
Alright, dude, here's the deal. We will do it for 250 gold apiece. And I'd like to make, like, a persuasion or charisma or something roll on that.
Alright, yeah, go ahead and make a communication check.
Alright. I have +2 to seduction, and I'm flirting with him. That.
I'm gonna give you disadvantage if you're flirting.
Aw, that's awful. Okay, fine, I'll take disadvantage, so. Aw, they were the same roll.
Your disadvantage is useless.
I got a 15.
Yeah, you can see that he is not moved by your flirtatious persuasion, and he says, 200 gold apiece, or you get your meals somewhere else, you filthy cow.
Jeez.
You know, I don't know if you have ever actually, like, talked to a human being or a Qunari or a dwarf or just, like, any kind of actual person before, because you're really bad at it. Like, this is not how you get anybody to do anything, by being a big fat racist jerk face. So, like, how about we try that again?
Do you want the gold or not?
Do you want your artifact or not?
So at this point, he's like, I'm done with you. You've tried all my patience, and I knew it was going to be useless to speak to you. We will find some other group of witless fools to do what we need them to do.
Okay. We will do it. But if you call me a cow again, like, you're gonna see what my horns can really do, and, like, I've trouble before, so don't push it. Yeah. We'll do your job, but
Okay.
in ice, sir.
All right. So you guys agree to do the job. He lets you know that his name is Victor, and he hails his organization hails from it's central in Tevinter, and he gives you guys a map that sort of sets out and points to a direction. Sort of, it's up in the northern corner of the Tevinter Imperium is where he wants you to go, and he instructs you that there is a tower in the middle of a lake, and that if you go into the tower, you will find the artifact that they seek. he doesn't give you any information about the artifact. He just says you'll know it when you see it. And that it is very important that you retrieve it as soon as possible and return it to him specifically.
Okay.
Okay, so like, oh, sorry.
I was just going to ask if there's any chance Arya would know anything about organizations that it might be, being from Fincher or not.
Go ahead and do a cunning check for me.
Okay, is that 3d6 plus modifier?
Yes. And then if you have any, like, abilities added to it, like, history knowledge or anything that would apply to, like...
Arcane lore?
Yeah, I'll give it to you with that. So go ahead and add the arcane lore modifier to it.
Oh god, I don't know what my modifier for that is. How would I work out what that modifier? Do you know?
Hang on, you're a latent?
Sorry to slow us right down like this.
Because I know...
No, this is how you figure it out.
Let me find out. Yeah, because it doesn't actually give a number on the sheet. Or on the list of the thing. So let me see if I can find...
Yeah.
Instrucciones.
Don't you just like get like a +2 or something? I'm gonna say because most of these are a +2, there's probably a +2.
Hang on, I'm looking through...
So that would give me a 17 then.
Okay. Depends on what the talent... Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with +2 for now. I'm going to do more research into it and make sure that we know the official ruling next time, because I don't know if that's correct, but we'll go ahead and say it's a +2 to your roll for now, so...
Okay, that's a 17 then.
Okay, you would have recognized his robes. This may change how you guys feel about this whole quest, but you would have recognized his robes as belonging to the Venatori, which were the sect of mages that worked with Corypheus, which was an ancient monster that tried to, overthrow the whole world and take it over and destroy it.
Right. Okay, so we're definitely double-crossing these guys.
Okay, but are you still offering upfront to take his job?
Yeah, I think so. So that we can make sure that the job doesn't get offered to someone else who might be more likely to do it.
Okay. So you guys take the job. You're aware that Victor is not exactly an upstanding citizen, but you take the job. You're not just sure how successful this venture will be, but none of you has any better ideas in the moment, and those empty pockets feel emptier by the minute. You may not trust Victor, but you do trust the promise of gold enough to risk whatever treachery he might have in store for you. You guys, hang out at the tavern, you get rested. Do you guys want to, spend the night before you head out on your journey?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
You guys on board?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'll say you guys go ahead and
wash the mud off your horns.
And Victor, as a show of good faith, because now he wants you guys to be on his good side and everything. He pays for your drinks and the room for the evening. He doesn't pay for a nice room, which there aren't really nice rooms at this inn. But he pays for the lesser of the less rooms. So you have a 50-50 chance of being eaten alive by rats during the night. But you're all pretty tired, so you're willing to risk it. And so you guys, you rest, and at first light...
At some point, like, on my way upstairs, I walk by him and I moo at him.
Just, like, sassily moo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna need some folio on that sassy.
I want to make that my ringtone. Alright, So you guys, you pack up and you guys leave at first light and start heading down the road. Did you guys want to head straight towards where he points to on the map?
Anyone have any side quests?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, I'm good to just head straight
Okay.
down.
So the road that you guys are traveling is not as impressive as the ruins of the Great Imperial Highway, which is what you would have sort of been on and off to get around previously. But it is clear of debris, and you are making pretty good progress. Fine gravel crunches underfoot, and the sun is high in the clear blue sky. You're surrounded by rolling plains covered in long fronds of soft grass, drifting back and forth in the wind. There's large rocky outcroppings that border either side of the highway, which is sort of the beginnings of the mountain ranges that are ahead on the road. So there's lots of sort of looming structures on either side of you. You're not quite in the mountains yet, but you're sort of headed that direction.
Okay. Just a quick aside, DM.
Mm-hmm.
I found the focuses and talents, and it says if you have a focus, you get a +2 bonus when making an ability test related.
Okay, perfect. And is that, because I was looking at something that had different levels for abilities, but I think that's a different thing than a focus, right?
Yeah. The talents, and like my talents right now are dual weapon style and weapon and shield, and I'm a novice in both.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas seduction is like a focus in my communication thing.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay. Sounds good. So we did it right. Yay! We didn't do it bad.
We did a good, guys.
Okay, so as you guys are walking down the road, you hear the subtle sound of some stone crumbling against stone, and the settling of dust and debris just at the edge of your senses.
I'm going to pull out both of my swords and just kind of slowly get in front of my mages, because there's...
Okay, so as soon as you pull out your swords, you hear a great cry from behind one of the rocky outcroppings. Fenhur Mahalam!
Oh, shit!
Does anybody speak Elven?
No.
I know what that word means, but Aria doesn't.
So nobody speaks Elven?
No.
Okay. So you hear that, and before you can do much else, 3 fearsome-looking Dalish elves have crept from their hiding places. The tattoos on their face are distorted by the wicked grins splitting their lips. They're dressed in common Dalish scouting armor, leather and light scale woven together, in the colors of the nature around them. 2 of them carry short swords, drawn and held aloft as they approach, while the third has a short bow with an arrow held tightly between the top string. So let's roll initiative.
Oh, but what if I want to talk to him first?
You can try to talk to them, but you're going to have to do it in initiative order.
Oh. How do we determine initiative?
So,
Yeah, that was the one stat I couldn't find.
yeah, I haven't really seen.
let me look at the page.
I have speed, defense, armor, penalty, but no
I believe your
initiative.
initiative, when we roll initiative, it's 3d6 plus your speed. And that determines the order.
And minus, and then you have to take your penalty away if you have that.
Yes,
That's what it
yeah.
is. Correct.
Yeah.
And should that speed be a big number, or when you make it a ability 3 or 11?
Mine's 13.
Okay.
My speed is 13.
So I think you rolled for
I
speed.
have a -1 for a penalty.
Yeah, but I think you should have rolled for speed as... Oh shit, I don't have enough d6 out. Hang on.
Yes, I did. I just wasn't sure if I was supposed to make that number into a smaller number using a table.
Do you have all your stats prepared, Liz? Because I know we didn't necessarily plan on gameplay tonight, but,
Yeah. I just need to know what speed again?
It's 10 plus your dexterity.
Okay, 10 plus dexterity plus a d6.
Plus... Yes.
Right. Alright, so...
Maybe? I don't know.
No, that was... Hang on.
16? That's my speed?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is there something for armor?
If you're wearing heavy armor, I think it detracts from it.
Yeah, that's me.
But I don't
Okay,
think they
so
would be. They're mages. They're wearing like potato
Yeah.
sacks. That's fine.
I went with red bird.
So it's our speed plus our 3d6. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Oh, okay. Hang on. I gotta do that.
25.
26.
10. 26 as well.
Okay, let me finish rolling initiative for the 3 elves. Okay, what were your initiatives again?
It was
25, 26, and 26.
Okay, let's do this in order so I can actually... Regina, what was yours?
26.
Okay, Alhana?
That's 26.
And... Celeste, whatever your character's name was. Aria.
25.
Okay. So I've given the elves stand-in names so I don't have to keep calling them 1, 2, and 3. So let me just get the order here.
Louie, Dewey, and Louie.
It's actually Jeff, John, and Jim.
Oh, yeah. Jeff, John, and Jim. That's amazing.
Regina and Halahana, would you both just roll 1d6?
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so Regina's gonna go first.
Oh. Right now?
No, not yet. Sorry. I just meant because you guys both rolled a 26, so I needed to settle the tie. So actually, first in the order is gonna be Jim.
Damn you.
Jim the Angry Elf. And he's got his 2 short swords, and I think he's gonna go straight for Alhana, because you look the most threatening.
That seems accurate.
So let me see. It would be...
Guys, I'm not being a tank. Doing.
So I forget which stat is it that you roll to see if you hit. Did any of you guys read that for?
Oh, yes, I did, but I have forgotten. I'm forgetting this today.
This book gives like 18 character stat chapters before it tells you how to actually use them.
So it looks like you have major actions and minor actions.
Yes.
You can do them in any order.
Oh, that's nifty. There's a huge like history of Thetis section that you can browse through later, Liz, if you want to take a peek at it.
Oh, okay.
It's in like the middle of the book, chapter 7.
It says to make an attack, you make an attack roll. This is an ability test based on the weapon group of the weapons you are using. Like strength for heavy blades or dexterity for bows.
Yeah, okay. So basically I'm making a check to see if I beat your defense. So I have to roll higher than your defense.
Bring it on!
So that's gonna be... Where are my stats? I mean, your stats suck, Elf. That's gonna be a 10 to hit?
No!
So he swings at you and whiffs. You just sort of dance out of the way.
No.
So next in the order we have Regina.
Okay.
She's like, good, I'm glad I go first out of everyone.
Yeah, let's let the person who doesn't know how to play go first. So
Trial by fire.
I saw that since I saw that he was hitting my friend, I'm gonna do an arcane lance at him. I'm just gonna whack him with my stick.
Okay. So I think that works as a melee attack, right? Or you roll like it's a melee
It
attack?
says normal ranged attack.
Okay.
And then I do a 1d6 magic damage if it hits.
Okay, yeah, so...
Whatever, Reggie! You got this!
I was just trying to frantically flip through the book and see if I
Yeah.
can find how to make a ranged attack. Chapter 4.
What weapon are you using?
It's called an arcane lance. It's basically it's my wizard staff. That
It's
I can
like
use
Arcane Lance is basically magic missile. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. To put it in D&D terms. You're casting magic missile. So I think you would roll... The ranged attack, I think, is just 3d6 plus your dexterity.
Okay.
I am pretty sure that's what a ranged attack is.
9
9.
plus 2, so 11.
11 is not enough to hit.
Oh no!
So happy little friend dances out of your way. Jim escapes!
Damn you, Jim.
Okay, so next up in the order is Alhana.
Okay, like, guys, this was totally unnecessary, but I guess if we're gonna do it, then I take a swing with my longsword at Jim.
Okay.
Jerk. Which is... Where's my longsword? Here it is. 2d6. Plus...
So that I think
what?
the 2d6 is your damage roll. I think the attack roll to see if you do hit is always 3d6 plus if it's a sword, I think it's strength.
3d6 plus my
Yeah.
strength? Okay.
And that's to see if you hit him.
Yes. 6, 9.
So that is not a hit. He dances out of your... He's a nimble little mofo. So
Keep rolling 9.
Jim leaps out of the way. And so next is going to be Arya.
Cool.
Come on, Arya, you can do it! Like, you got this, girl!
So, do we have a major and a minor action, or
Yes.
just a one action?
Yeah, it's major and minor.
Okay. And would talking be a minor action?
Yeah, I would say that's a minor action.
Yeah. Okay. So, would I roll communication for that?
What are you trying to do?
I want to. Okay. Look, we've all swung at each other. We've all missed. No one's hurt. We can just stop fighting before we start.
Okay, I'm gonna say, because you're trying to persuade them. Yeah, I'll let you do that on a minor action this time. I think normally I would want that to be a major action just because you're trying to.
I can take a major action instead. I don't mind.
Yeah, because you're trying to accomplish something with this. It's not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty big thing you're trying to accomplish with this persuasion. So go ahead and roll a communication persuasion attempt.
19.
That's a very good roll.
I am thrilled. I got 2 5s and a 6. I'm like.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't actually know what to have him say. Because you've persuaded him to stop. He lowers his weapons and just kind of looks at you suspiciously.
We just stare at each other in silence and slowly lowering silence.
I'm gonna put my swords back in a show of good faith and kind of put my hands up a little bit. I'm in peace, dude. It's all good. Why are you so mad?
What do you want? Why attack us? Do you speak the trade tongue? Or is this a elven only kind of thing?
Come in peace.
He's not prepared for you guys to successfully persuade them. Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
No, this is great.
So he looks at you, and in common he says, "Do you support the liberation of the Elvanon?"
I mean,
Yes.
I like to support freedom for everybody. Like, have you seen me?
You are not of the Qun?
No. My like great grandparents like left that crap so long ago that I am like, Sean, at this point, I'm just kind of rainy with horns.
Okay, so he's looking at you guys, and he's still suspicious, but he reaches into his cloak, his sort of chest area, and pulls out a little vial of liquid that's got sort of a green tint to it, and he holds it out, and he says, "If you are with us, then you will pledge yourself to Fen'Harel."
What does this pledge involve?
I don't know that I'm really in the habit to like making pledges to people I don't know. Like, I'm totally not gonna. I don't think we're gonna attack, but I don't know that we really want to join a cause.
He lifts his weapons again and aims them at you, and he says, "You are with us or against us?"
Oh god.
Shit.
So as you guys sort of are hesitating, out of nowhere, and you can't actually see where they come from, but the elf that's in front of you, who's standing holding the vial, just a dagger sinks into the front of his forehead, and he goes down, and the other two go down at the same time, just like daggers to their chests.
I bring my swords back out, and I turn around.
So the dust sort of settles from their bodies falling to the ground. You turn and you see another figure approaching, wearing a heavy black armor and a cowl that covers most of their face. They walk up to you confidently with no hint of worry or fear in their stride, despite the fact that you've got your weapons out. They stop in front of you, far enough away that they're a safe distance. They're not in range of your attacks. Though they look like a formidable warrior, their posture doesn't speak of any kind of aggression at all. They lower their hood, and you can see a woman with sort of olive-colored skin and short cropped hair that's black. She's got a bit of a scar on her cheek.
Zom, you did not!
Love of my life!
Her steely eyes seem to stare straight through you as you meet her gaze. She smiles, although it's a subtle quirk to her lips, but you can tell it signifies a great deal of approval. It seems that the results of your exciting encounter have somewhat impressed her. She cants her hips to the side and crosses her arms over her chest, and you can see that her finely crafted sword and shield are strapped to her back just below the cloak. She's got strong cheekbones that rest beneath intense eyes and the black cropped hair. When she smiles, the scar on the side of her cheek travels upward, and the severe expression on her face lessens slightly. She looks like a warrior that has seen it all and kept fighting, the sort of person that exudes honor and exemplifies duty. You can practically feel the fierce loyalty rolling off her, and you know she is not someone you would want as your enemy. And she looks at you and she says, she says, "You fight well for a group of unorganized strangers."
Are you going to make us try to join a cult as well?
What?
Are you also going to make us try to join?
No, in fact, I admire your willingness to decline the previous offer. Forgive me. My name is Cassandra Pentagast, High Seeker in the New Order of the Seekers of Truth. And she bows politely and smiles to herself as you guys would recognize that name. You know who the Seekers of Truth are.
I bow back.
They're sort of like.
I'm sorry, my headphones came undone. What did you say?
Oh, she said that she's part of the Seekers of Truth, and you guys would know who that is. You know that organization. You know that it's the New Order, and it's sort of like the only successful law order that's running right now. So anytime you find a seeker, you know that they're out for good and justice, and they've been doing good and keeping the peace in places where like the Templars and the Wardens have fallen apart.
Can we just like huddle really quick before, like just 1 second, okay? Please, just hang on.
Please take the time you need.
Thank you. You're like that sweet person I have met like all week. Oh my gosh. Like, oh, thank you so much. Just give us like 1 second, okay? And can we huddle?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, that's a secret. Maybe we should like probably say something about the fact that like we've got this Venatori thing. Like, yeah, should we tell her?
Yes. Seeker's a trustworthy, right?
Rama!
It'll be fine.
Yay.
And would we know of her involvement with the Inquisition and just generally who she is?
I would say that, yeah, she was high enough ranked that she was one of the few people that you can confirm did work with the Inquisition, because she was pretty much a big part of it. So yeah, you guys would know of her involvement with that.
What do you think, Reggie? Should we tell her, or should we just keep on our merry way?
No, she seems to know what she's doing. We should probably tell her.
Cool.
We should introduce ourselves to her first, though, maybe.
Okay. Like, probably.
Right, huddle done?
Right, yes. Right. Okay, hi, Cassandra Pentagast. My name's Alshana, and I'm a Ravine agent. And it's like so nice to actually meet a cool person out here. Those elves were so mean.
Alhana. I believe I remember that name from the dossiers on the Inquisition.
Yes, I totally like sent tons of supplies to Skyhold. Like, my parents are merchants, and there was a lot of trade. Anyway, it's really boring. But yes, I had a little bit to do with you guys.
I'm Aria. This is Regina. It's a pleasure to meet you. We have some information you might find.
Oh, yes?
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah.
So, we were recently approached by a member of the Venatori who sought to hire us to seek out some sort of artifact in northern Tevinter.
So she looks super impressed by this, and she's like, indeed. I had actually hunted you down to inform you of such. It is clever of you to realize his trickery before.
Yeah, our plan was to just, like, not give it to him.
Yes, your employer is not the sort that upholds promises, and you should know that helping him would have had serious consequences.
I mean, we kind of figured that was probably the case.
Generally, working with the Venatori doesn't seem to be the wisest decision.
So, like, what do you want us to do about this?
Okay, so my Cassandra accent is terrible, so I'm just going to break this down for you.
It's great, I love it. It's just so regal.
Dude, I'm supposed to be all tall and statuesque and, like, chill.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Valley Girl.
In chat, before we started streaming, Alex described Hannah as like Vivian, but nicer.
And that is, like, not at all what came out of my mouth.
That's incredible.
No.
Yeah, so basically she's going to explain to you guys that they've been, and she uses the term they, but she doesn't necessarily say who, but they have been tracking a secretive group in the area and tracking their movements and determining their purpose. The artifact that Victor wanted you guys to retrieve was not a trinket. It's not just some little archaeological find. And in the wrong hands, it could prove disastrous for all of Thedas.
The artifact, man, they're just
Glad we didn't go give that one to them then.
Right? It's like the end of the world for the 5th time this decade. Like, ugh.
That's all Thedas is, just perpetual world ending.
Okay, so, like, do you want us to go get this artifact and, like, bring it back to you? Or are you gonna come with us? Or do you want to go get it?
We would very much appreciate it if you would consider retrieving the artifact for my organization and myself.
And I would love to do that for you, but, like, we are so broke, and those guys were gonna pay us, like, a ton.
We would, of course, compensate you for your efforts.
Awesome. Do you think we could get just, like, a little bit up front for, like, you know, working fees? like a couple of gold, maybe.
It's hard to find an artifact when you're starving.
Yes, and also, like, I'm a Qunari, and, like, we're about vintage. It's just, like, not the safest. So if I had a little bit of money to, like, grease some palms if I need to, you know how it is.
She looks at you and she's kind of smirking and shaking her head, and she's like, "You remind me far too much of someone I know."
I'm gonna take that as like a compliment.
She didn't say it without love.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy.
Our resources are fairly limited at the moment, but I can give each of you a tippence of 5 gold apiece as a finder's fee.
I mean, that's like all we need, really.
I cannot promise a reward equal to what Victor promised you, but I can promise that you would be doing Thedas a far greater service.
Can we, like, have just 1 second? Just 1 second, real quick.
Of course.
Huddle. Hey, so, like, are you guys, like, cool with, like, going and getting this thing and not getting quite so much? Okay, I just want...
It seems like as good a thing to research as any.
Okay, how about you, Reggie? Are you cool with this new change?
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. To be fair, my first plan was to go get the artifact and then make a copy and give it to the bad guys, and then we get the money, and we also get not to give them the artifact, and we can send the artifact somewhere else.
That's a good plan. We can make a fake artifact and give it to the bad guys, and give the real artifact to the seekers.
That way we screw
then we
over the bad guys, and then we get lots of money.
Okay, alright.
We can cross this bridge when we come to it.
Good. I just wanted to, like, make sure that everybody was cool. So, like, okay, Cassandra, we're down.
Very good. I will give you further details of what we will require if you can meet me at the Inn of Vashan in the town of Paravendium.
So, like, in your infinite wisdom, like, how much trouble am I going to be in for just looking like me right off? Like, are they going to try to throw me out of Vinter?
I can ensure no harm comes to you when I am there. However, I cannot speak. I am sure you will meet dangerous people along your journey.
Well, I mean...
But you look quite capable of handling it.
I wink at her.
There's always somebody that hits on Cassandra. Every time.
Have you seen her?
Always a mistake. Excellent point.
Anyway. So, cool. Are you coming with us to this tavern, or do you have your own thing going?
I will meet you there. I have other business to attend to before I can join you.
Okay.
And do you have any idea how long you'll be?
I should arrive there around the same time as you if you travel at average pace.
Okay. Works for me.
So I guess we'll, like, see you later.
Very well. Mm-hmm. She bows and then she sort of walks off the beaten path off the road, and she sort of disappears out of sight.
Well, that was weird. So, how are we doing? Hey, maybe we should go, like, see if those dead elves have anything worth taking.
Ooh.
I know that's kind of terrible, but, like, we're so broke.
Alright, yeah, if you guys want to do whatever perception is. Oh yeah, perception is an actual thing. If you want to go ahead and do a perception check to search the bodies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
I got an 11.
I got a 6.
14.
How much?
I got a 14.
Okay, Ahana, you find 11 pieces of gold.
Oh, hey guys, there's 11 gold here. Do you guys, we should probably split this up. I've lost my notebook. There it is. I find 12 gold, 11 gold.
Yeah, 11 gold.
Okay, so I give 4 to Reggie, and I give 4 to Arya, and then I keep 3 for myself.
Okay, give me just a sec. Let me pull up some stuff that I hadn't pulled up previously.
Did she give us each 5 gold?
Yeah. Yeah. She gave you 5 gold apiece.
Okay. Cool. Were there any snacks? Like, did those food or water? I'm so hungry. It's hard being this big.
Oh, it's okay. I brought snacks. And I'll call it my snacks.
Oh, you're the best, Regina. Give her a big hug.
Oh, don't thank me yet. They're really old snacks.
It's fine. Just thank you. And I start eating.
Okay. You do find one of the elves.
I'm like popping them up in the air and catching them in my mouth.
You do find one of the elves is wearing a ring.
Is what?
A ring.
Ooh.
Ooh, hey!
And I have put it in the chat. It is called the Ring of Decapitation.
Oh, that sounds like something that our hunter should have.
It is guaranteed to increase the likelihood of heads rolling by at least 30%. Results may vary. And it adds +1 to all damage aimed at the jugular. So if you were aiming at someone's neck, you will do +1 damage.
I could be like, off with their head. Hey, did you say, where did you link that?
It's in the chat.
In Twitch chat or
In
in
Discord? No, not in Twitch.
All I have is Celeste's map. It's not.
Oh.
Do you guys
Hang on, no. There you go.
Okay.
And hit enter. That's important.
Oh, cool. So, like, guys, this is really cool, but it's kind of... Do you mind if I take it? Because, like...
It's all yours.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You guys are so nice.
I don't think Regina and I were planning on doing much decapitating ourselves.
You never know.
It's so gross. Like, there's just blood everywhere. And
How much experience do you have with this?
Like, a lot. Because, like... So, like, my grandparents were part of, like, the Qunari army, I think. They were, like, the Sten or something. I can't remember exactly. Well, no, I do, because I speak from that. They were soldiers, and since people like really hate us as just a general rule, like, they taught me and my sisters how to fight, because, like, people are always trying to come at us, so I'm pretty good. Like, I can cut some heads off. I'm pretty buff.
Swole.
Swole. She's swole. Yes.
Super swole.
Yep.
Okay, so...
I left. Sorry.
No problem. It is a little bit early than I would have liked, but since we weren't fully prepared for moving on in the story, I didn't have everything set up like I wanted to, so I'm going to go ahead and stop us here. And next time we pick up, we'll roll on into Paravantium and see what kind of exciting adventure waits for you guys there.
I can't wait.
So,
so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and let us, plug anything that we're involved in or anything that we want to share. I will go ahead and start. Like I said, I'm a Zombolouge. You can find me Zombolouge on Twitter, Tumblr, Archive of Our Own. I have a website where you can find all my writing, zombarber.com. There's links to everything there. I also have a book available on Amazon. It's called Unlucky. It's got gay wizards and murderous unicorns and moosicorns, so check that out. Please buy my book. And I am also part of another D&D streaming group that streams Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're part of 2 groups, Homebrewed and Bar Crawl, that are doing concurrent storylines. I know Liz is part of that as well. And come check that out if you enjoy D&D shenanigans. And I'm also part of the Dice Camera Action Waffle Crew zine that they're coming out with. I believe they announced the release date is going to be on International Waffle Day. I don't know what date that is. I have to actually look it up, but that's when that's going to be.
Yeah, I have to look it up.
Yeah. But I'm a writer for that, so there's going to be a written piece from me in that, as well as some incredible art and other crazy things from a bunch of people. It's got really incredible stuff. So if you're a fan of dice camera action, which you should be, then you should definitely keep your eye out for that. All the proceeds for that zine are going to go to the Child's Play charity, I believe. So, yeah, so that's everything that I have to plug. I'm sorry that was many things. But Celeste, do you want to go ahead and...
Yeah, sure. I don't actually have any major projects that I want to scream about right now, but yeah, come follow me and look at my art. I'll be doing most of, if not all of the art for this group, for Chasing Remnants. So yeah, you can see that on my Tumblr at Celeste Draws. I might start using my Twitter, which is on screen at the moment and is the same as my Instagram if you want to follow me there as well. But that's it.
Okay. Liz?
Hi, I'm Liz. I don't do much, but I am in, like Zom said, I'm in the Dice Camera Action Zine as a writer, so I'm gonna have a piece coming out there. And I'm in the D&D group Bar Crawl on the Dice Camera Actions stream team.
Zine Team Stream.
Zine Team Stream. We switched it around, so it's like I was never really sure. But yeah, so you can find me there. I don't really post on Twitter, and when I do, it's mostly pictures of doggies, so you like
That's
that.
quality content, though.
Quality.
Okay, and Alex?
I have absolutely nothing interesting going on right now. You guys are welcome to follow my Twitter. I'm really good at giving my opinion. So if you want opinions about stuff, ask me questions, because I'm totally down for that. Maybe at some point I will release my Tumblr information, but we're not there yet. We'll wait a couple weeks and see how I feel about that.
Someday.
Hit me up at Alexi on Twitter. I will put it. I'm actually downloading the app right now and logging in.
Twitter's good. Use the Twitter.
I know.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that was the first episode of Chasing Remnants. Hopefully you guys will tune in. We're going to be doing this every Saturday at the same time, which was 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what that is in other time zones.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern.
There you go.
There.
And in Australian Eastern, it's 10:30 a.m.
Jesus.
The following morning.
The following morning. We're actually on Sundays.
Yes, yeah, she's in the future. All right, but hopefully you guys will stop by and join us again for more crazy shenanigans. I promise this story goes crazy places. And it's going to be worth checking out if you like Dragon Age or, role-playing games or really chipper Qunari people.
Guys, it's going to be so much fun.
All right, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Goodbye.